Welcome everybody to the NEOS Academy. Today's Academy will be on reporting. We're going to talk about standard reports, advanced search reports, how to request custom reports, creating dashboards, your subscription, advanced analytics, and then we'll round out the hour with knowledge base and portal review. My name is Pam Hodge. I'm the host. Co-hosts are Lauren Root and Dawn Rowan. As we're going through the Academy, if you have questions, remember there's the Q&A button down at the bottom. Please put any questions that you guys have in there, and Dawn and Lauren will assist you in those questions. So we're going to jump right into the Academy. So I'm going to stop share for just a second. I'm going to reshare the screen. All right. As always, when we are talking about anything in NEOS, we always start with permissions. So I'm going to go here to settings, and I'm going to go down to staff profile and permission groups. We always recommend that you set up permission groups. Once you go into your group, you will find the group that you're looking for. So when you're setting up permissions, I'm going to go under general, and we have lots of information. So you want to make sure that you're turning on advanced search if you want your staff to be able to view advanced search reports. They can add them, they can modify them, or they can delete them. So just be mindful, the advanced search, even though it is one of our search criteria for our reports, just think about what you want each staff member to be able to do. Once you make those modifications, you're going to hit save. Now I'm going to go all the way back to the top, and we're going to go to other permissions. As you're setting up your permissions, we have a report category exceptions. If you don't want certain users to view certain reports, you can go here to the reports and you can block them from seeing certain report categories. Once you add that, you're going to get the blue save button, and then you'll hit save, and it'll prevent those people that's in this group from seeing any reports within that category. All right, so now we're going to go and we're going to talk about reports in general. So if I go over here to my main ribbon bar and go and open up reports, we have approximately between 600 and 800 reports that are pre-built in NEOS. So when you go over here to your reports and you go to all reports, it's going to give you a list of every single report that is in NEOS. We do categorize them by auditing, calendar, case listing. So anything that you're looking for, think about that main topic. So if you're going to look for checklist, you can select on checklist, and these are all the pre-built reports that you have for checklist. I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to my SOL warning. So when I select on this, it is going to open up the standard report, and then I have options where I can choose different categories. Here, I can say I want to see all open checklists. I can choose my staff, my primary staff. So what's the difference between any staff and primary? Primary would be the person that's primarily handling the case. That would be on your case type. And then any staff, if I want to specifically choose a person's name, once I choose that name and I hit apply, it is going to change my wording, and it's going to show if Pam is listed as a staff on any case, it's going to show me all this information. Same thing if you want to only see open cases. If there's specific class codes that you want to see, you can choose that, or you can choose multiple. All you have to do is hit the select. Once you choose that, you can choose your checklist codes, and then you hit apply. So when you hit apply, it is going to change every single time you apply your filters. Now, if you decide, hey, I don't want all these filters, you go here and you hit clear filters, you hit apply, and it's going to bring everything back to you. As you're looking at this, if I wanted to actually click on this checklist item, if I double click, it is going to take me to that case. Again, if I go back here to my report details, here is my list. And if I want to go to the case, I just double click and it's going to take me to the case itself. All right, if I go back here to report details, and if I want to choose another report, remember if I hit this X key here, it's going to take me back to my previous screen. Now, if I decide that I want this one report as my favorite, I go over here, hit the star button. When I hit the star button, it's going to add it to my favorite groups. So if I go here to all favorites, it's going to give me a list of all my favorite reports or reports that I go to a lot. Now, I can go here to my case master report template. When I select on that, it's going to open up my report. Again, I get to choose my filters and I can say, hey, I only want to see, specific things. As I'm going here, I can add what filters I want to see in this report. Now, let's say that this report is something that I want to duplicate. Now, your standard reports, you cannot rename those, but you can do a save as. So once I make that change, I can go here to more, hit save as new report, and then I can name it. And I am just using today's date as my report name and my description. I can choose to include my filters. And if I say include my filters, any of the filters that I had up here, it's going to pull those. So once I hit save, it is going to create my new report. Now, if I go back to reports and I go in here and type in, if I can type my own name, if I start typing in, it's going to look for my report. So as I'm looking for my report, notice because I'm under all favorites, I have not made a favorite, so it's not going to show up here. I need to make sure I'm back under all. And then I go here to this search button and start typing in my name. And there is the report. And if I want it to make it a favorite, I can make it a favorite, and then it's going to appear in my favorite. So if I go here and I type the same thing, it's going to show me my report now because I have made it a favorite. All right. Again, I'm going to go back here. We're going to talk about a couple of reports that you guys may want to see. Again, I'm going to go here to my case listings. If I go to my case listings, I can do different reports, statute of limitations by alternate case number. If I select this, it is going to shut me over. Now, notice that this is going to say there's required fields before anything's going to populate. So this is just telling me that I have to fill in my filters up top before my report's going to be generated. So here I can choose anybody's name. Now, I'm not going to choose the name. If you notice, it's asking for the role. So I'm going to choose my role. So I'm going to go choose attorney. I can choose a specific case type or multiple case types. I can choose my second staff role. I can choose if my suit has been filed, choose my case status, and then I can choose my statute of limitations. Now, when I go here, I can say today, yesterday, past week, month, 3 months, 6 months, past year, past 2 years. Or I can choose today's date, and I can go all the way to the end of the year. So once I choose the end of the year and I hit OK and I apply my filters, it is going to give me information. Now, because there's no information based off of my filters, it's not going to give me my report. So if I clear my filters, I can start all back over again. Now, when we're looking at this report may not be what you want. So that's when you can create your own statute of limitations report using our advanced search. So if I go up here to the top where I normally would search for a case, I can select there and I go to advanced search. When I go to advanced search, it is going to take me to my advanced search window. Here, I get to determine what I am searching for. So when I hit this drop down, it's going to give me all of my options. I have a third-party caption, accident information, addresses, asbestos. So any tab, whether it is a standard tab or a dynamic form, is going to appear in this list. but I know that my statute of limitations is connected to my checklist. So if I choose checklist, it's going to ask me, am I sure I want to reset? I'm going to say yes. Once I say yes, this is where I go and build out my report. Now, when I hit add criteria, it is going to allow me to choose the information that I want. So the first thing that I'm going to hit is this drop down. It's going to give me all of my options of the information. I can choose it from the case, completed by, completed date, my directory checklist, who's assigned to it, who created it, who modified it, and what the status is. But as I'm thinking about how I want to build out the report, the first thing that comes to my mind that says, I only want to see open cases. So if I start typing in date closed, I know that is the trigger in NEOS that says a case is either open or closed. I'm going to say, hey, the closed date is going to be blank. The reason I'm saying blank is because in NEOS, if the date closed is blank, the file is open, but if the closed date is filled in, that means that the case is closed. So before I do anything else, I'm just going to run a search to make sure that I get information populated, which I do. So the next thing that I want to add to my criteria when I hit add criteria, I want to choose a specific checklist. So I go here to my directory checklist, hit this drop down, and then I get to choose what information I'm looking for. So I'm specifically looking for the code. So I'm going to choose code. And then I can say contains, equals, is blank, not equal, or starts with. So I want to pull any checklist item that I have that has the code of limb, whether it's a limb warning or whatever that variation is. So if I say contains limb, and then I run my search criteria goes down from 7,000 to 1,000. Okay. Now I want to pull in and only see items that have not been completed. So I'm going to add another criteria, and I'm going to say my status. Start typing my status. Excludes done and not applicable. Once I add those two filters in, notice my total is 1,044. When I hit run, it drops down to 953. So here is going to show me all of my cases wherein I have a checklist code that contains limb that is open. Now, as I'm looking at this, I know that these are only opened items. So if I want to get rid of date completed, completed by staff, I can do that. I'm going to go here to the add remove columns. I'm going to say completed. I'm going to start typing in, and then I'm going to uncheck it. And I know that the next thing is completed by completed staff. Hold on. Completed by staff. So I'm going to say go here by. And as I start typing, as long as it matches the column, it's going to bring up that column, and then I can uncheck that, and then it's going to give me all of this information. Now, when I'm looking at this, it's going to give me all items that are marked blank and that are marked open. Now that I have my statute of limitation report that I want to see, I want to save this so the next time I want to go run it, I can do that. To save a new report, you're going to hit save as new. When you hit save as new, you're going to get this box that pops up. I am going to name it. And it's going to show that it's created from advanced search. I can type over that, or I can leave it in there. It's personal preference. Now, do I want this report to be shared? Is it a report that only I want to see, or do I want to share it with everybody else in my firm? If I turn on the toggle, it's going to tell me that it's going to be shared. When it is shared with other people, you have to choose a report category. You can choose one of the listings, or for me, because I'm creating this user-defined advanced search report, I always put mine under user-defined, and then I'm going to hit save. Once I hit save, it is going to save my report for me. Now, if I go back over to reports, I'm under all. I can type in my name and it's going to show me in a report. This is the report that I just created. I'm going to make it a favorite, and then I get to see that under my favorite reports. Okay, so here are the two reports that we created today. This one is based off of a standard report, and this one is based off of an advanced search report. Now we're going to go back under advanced search because we're going to talk about some of the other options that you have when you're using advanced search. So again, I'm going to go up here to the top. This time I'm going to choose information from my value tab. All right. So it's going to ask me if I am sure that I want to reset. I'm going to say yes. So it is going to clear my search. It's going to take it away from the case and it's going to focus on the value tab. As I'm doing this, I have several options. Again, when I hit my add my criteria, this is where I get to choose what information that I'm being pulled from. Now, I know that I want to create a medical bill summary. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I specifically want to be able to choose the case that I'm looking for. So I can go here and say case. As I'm looking here, I want to select my case. Once I select my case, I can hit equal. And then here it's going to give me my search. But I don't want to put anything in there right now because I want to be able to use this universal. So I'm not going to put any criteria in the search. And I'm going to go ahead and run. So what's going to happen? It is going to pull in all my information. Now, specifically, I want to create a bill summary for my medical bills. So I know that I'm looking for my value code title. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add criteria. Once I hit select, I am looking for a specific value code. So I can scroll down and keep looking to find the value code. Once I hit the value code, I can hit the drop down and I'm going to select code. Now, whether I do it here or I'm going to hit and add criteria again, as I'm typing in here, I could type in the word value code and it is going to filter down my results. So you can do it either or. It is all about personal preference. Okay. Now, I've added this line, but I don't want it here. So I'm going to go all the way down to the end. I'm going to hit the trash can. When I hit the trash can, it takes that line away. Here, I'm going to say equals. I'm going to choose equal. And then here, I know specifically I'm looking for medical bills. So here, I'm going to choose the value code of medical. And then I'm going to run my search. Now, as I'm running my search, it's going to give me 267 results. When I come down here, I have options. When I scroll this over here, it's going to tell me the total amount due, any reductions, and then the amount that's due. I do have options. If I hit the three dots here, I can summarize and I can give it a sum, minimum or maximum. I can do an average or I can do none, but I want it to sum the information. So I'm going to hit sum. So it is going to give me a summary of the total bills that I'm looking for. I can do the same thing with reduction. I can summarize. I can give me a sum, and then it's going to summarize what the reductions are. And the same thing with total amount due. I'm going to choose this. Come on. Now, I have all my information here. All right. Now, I know that I specifically want to find a case because I don't want to see all my cases. I just want to see one specific case. I can go up here. I can hit the search. Once I hit the search, this is going to give me a list of everything that I have in my system. So I can actually type in somebody's name or I can select here. So, but I know that the Pamela Halbert case has lots of information. So let's go choose that information. So I can type it in first name, last name. I can type in last name, comma, first name. Or remember, you still have the option to do 3 letters of the last name, comma, 3 letters of the first name if you can't remember how to spell somebody's name. Once you type in that person's name, you hit the search button and it's going to give you a list of the case. And then I'm going to hit select. Once I hit select and I run search, it is going to give me information specific to just this case. But as I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, I have my case name, I have my party, but I don't see the provider's name. And that to me is very important because I want to know who the provider is. So I can go up here and I can type in the provider. So if I choose provider, it's going to give me lots of options. So as I'm looking here, I'm like, okay, how do I want it to populate? So I'm going to choose this provider. So when I choose that provider and I scroll over, I'm like, well, that's not the correct one. If you notice, when I selected this one, I selected the DTF, and there is not going to be a DTF associated with this. So with that being said, I'm like, okay, so I need to find the value code and I need the provider that is attached to just the value item itself. So I can keep scrolling and find which one I'm looking for. So as you're going through this, just think about, what the field name is. So we know for sure it is the value provider name. So if I typed in value provider name, it would have come up, but I want you guys to see that you can scroll down, see all the different options. And sometimes it's just, you have to search to ensure that you're getting the correct information. Now, when I want this to populate, I want first name, last name. So that way, if it's a company, it's going to come out better. Once I select that column and I scroll over, that's who I want to see. So now I can take this and I can drag it over to any position that I want it to be in. So I can drag it all the way over. Now, I have my case name. Do I really want my party name? If I don't want my party name, I can go back up here. I can type in party name. And as I'm typing, it will give me my options. And I want to get rid of that. I really don't need to see the memo field if I don't want to see it. Any field that I do not want to see, I can get rid of it just by selecting the add remove columns here. And then as I'm adding it, it's going to update my columns. Now, again, if I want to save this report, I go here to save as new. I can determine if it's going to be a shared report or not. I'm going to add it to my user define, and I'm going to hit save. So it's going to save this report for me. Now, as I save this report, it's going to lock in this case, but I can go here, hit the X key to get rid of that case. And then I can run my search again. It's going to update it. And then if I want to save over what I just created, I can hit save. Once I hit save, it's going to bring me the same information. I hit save again, and it's going to overwrite what I just did, but keeping the filters that I want. All right. So we're going to come all the way back here, kind of get rid of some of these options up here that we may or may not want to see. Okay, and then get rid of this. All right, again, just as a reminder, all your reports are under here. All your favorite reports are here. Any one that you want to mark as a favorite, you just click on the button. But if you have one that you accidentally made a favorite and you don't want it a favorite anymore, all you have to do is unfavorite and it's going to remember the information for you. All right. Now, if you have reports that you want to subscribe to. So let's just say there's a report that the attorney wants every Monday morning that gives all their case listings by class code. So if I go here and say case listings by class code and it's the specific report that I want, it's going to give me all my filters, and then my criteria is up here and my results are down here. But if you notice, there's a lot of criteria in this report. So let's talk about all these different criteria in this report. Here, it's going to ask me to select a role. Even if I don't put anything in these, I can still run my search and get results. So if I want to hide my criteria here, it's going to give me my results down here. All right. So let's show our criteria. When you are building these advanced search reports out, if you want this to report to look here and look here and look here and look here. So as you're building this out, you can say, if this equals this, if this equals this, if this equals this, then give me my results. But let's just say that you said, the case type is equal to this, or the primary staff could equal this person. I can change this from and to or. What does that mean? It means that instead of it having to have one specific case type and one specific primary staff person, it's going to give you results if the case type is this, or if the primary primary staff equals this. So there's a lot of back and forth, and you have options to have all these things. But if we come down to this area here where it says case date is greater than or equal to, and the open date is less than or equal to. So when you're having these two, if you want it to be between a date range, you would create one that says open date greater than or equal to, and the open date is less than or equal to. So here you could say, show me everything from March the 3rd until or just say April the 30th. It would be within the case where was open between these two. Now, when you're dealing with date ranges, if you hit this drop down, you can use a custom range. So when you say custom range, you're going to have other options. So you choose custom, you hit this drop down, you can say today, yesterday, tomorrow, last, next, and this. So if I choose last, I could say last 30, and then my options are days, weeks, months, quarters, or years. So instead of putting specific date ranges, you can say the last 30 days, the last month. So you have several options depending on what you are wanting to do. And just remember, when you're doing date ranges, if you want it to truly be between two date ranges, you have to add the and, so it will put them between these ranges. Now, I am going to do a refresh because I want to get rid of all that, and I don't want to save it because I want it to come back to where we originally were. So as we're looking at this report, let's say that this is the report that our attorney wants every Monday morning at 8 a.m. So with that being said, I can go up here to subscriptions and choose a subscription. So when I say subscription, it's going to give me the report name. I get to choose my format, CSV, Excel, or PDF. I can type in my person's email, or if it is a group. So remember, in permissions, if you set up groups, you were able to have this sent to groups as well. So here, I'm just going to choose my name only, but I could choose Lauren's name. I could choose Don's name. So whoever is in my system, I can choose that. But let's just say that I want this email to go to an outside counsel. So let's just say this is referred by and you needed statuses for your cases. You could type in somebody's email address for them to receive this email as well. Once you choose who it's going to, you get to choose your schedule. Is it monthly or weekly? If you want it weekly, it's going to ask you what day of the week. When I hit the drop down, I can say Monday, or I can do every single day. Once I choose the day of the week, I get to choose what time it's going to be sent to them, and I hit execute. When I hit execute, it is going to send this specific email to Dawn and I every Monday morning at 9 a.m. until I go back here and unsubscribe to it. If I need to unsubscribe or remove the entire subscription, I just hit the subscription button. If I want to remove Dawn, I can remove Dawn and hit update. Or if I want to remove the whole subscription, I say remove, and it's going to verify that it's removed. Up here, it says subscription removed successfully. And then if I want to get back out of it, I just hit cancel, and it's going to pull me out of the report. Now, with that being said, if I come down here and hide my criteria, if you notice that there's not a whole listing, that's because I have this specific report grouped by certain things. So I'm going to go here to my three dots and I'm going to say ungroup this column, and then it's going to give me my full listing. I can group my reports by any of the columns that I want here. So here, if I want to group it by the class code, if I want to group it by the case type, I hit the three dots, group by this column. Once it's grouped by that column, it's going to give you the listing under each one. I can hit this drop down and it will show me my full listing of those specific cases. Now, if you go to create any report, you can't find it what you want in our standard reports, or you cannot create it by the advanced search, you do have the option to reach out to our custom report writing team to create reports for you. With that being said, there is a form that you would need to fill out to have a custom report done. So what happens is once you fill out the form, it's going to ask you your name, your firm, your phone number, what type of report you want, and it's going to get some basic information from you about the report. And then somebody from our custom reports team will contact you to start working on that custom report. Okay, it is a paid service. So if none of our standard reports work or the advanced search reports work, you have that option to pay for a custom report. Now, once you have all these reports, you can add any of the advanced search reports that you want to your dashboard. So if I go back up here to my dashboards, you will notice that I have a whole bunch of different dashboards. Of course, we have our normal NEOS Today dashboard that most people work off of. But if I want to create a dashboard for me specifically, I can do that. I can go here to add dashboard. When I go to here, add dashboard, I get to name my dashboard, and then I'm going to hit save. But before I do that, I can say it's going to be the NEOS Today type of dashboard or advanced analytics. We do have advanced analytic dashboards that are available. You can contact your customer success manager if you want to learn more about advanced analytics. So I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to hit save. Once I choose save, it's going to create my dashboard. When I hit add tile, my options are advanced analytic reports. And then I get to choose my different reports that are available. Now, these are for forecasting. That is a premium service, but if you guys want any additional information regarding the advanced analytics, please contact your customer success manager and he or she will be able to assist you. All right. Once I add my dashboard there, I hit save, so it saves my layout for me. But we're going to go back and we're going to talk about the regular dashboards. I'm going to hit the dashboards again. I am going to name it. Once I name it, I'm going to hit save. Once I hit save, it is going to create my dashboard. This is when I can go in here and add any of my reports that I've created. So if I hit add tile, I get to choose, do I want a table, number, table, number, or chart, or my activity feed. If I hit table, I get to name my dashboard. And then these are all of my options. Some of these are pre-built out, but some of these are the ones that I want to see. I'm going to rename this and I'm going to name it as my limb because I'm going to go back and use that report that I did earlier. So I'm going to say Pam, and we know it's my statute of limitations. And then I'm going to hit save. When I hit save, it is going to give me that same listing. So instead of having to go to my reports, I can have it as a reminder every single day when I'm working on my cases. Once I select here, if you notice, I grab this corner, I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger, and then I can hit save. Once I hit save, it is going to save this layout for me. Now, let's just say that I wanted another tile on my dashboard with the same information. I can go here, I can hit edit. Once I hit edit, I get to add a tile. So I can say add tile, but this time, let's just say I want a chart. If I choose my chart, I can choose that same report that I was just using. I can name it however I want to name it. I get to choose my chart. Do I want bar, pie, or donut? I can choose a bar graph. How do I want it grouped by? I want it grouped by my case type. All right. And then function, I can say, give me a count, sum, max, minimum, or average. What makes the most sense to me is I get a count, and then I'm going to hit save. Once I hit save, it is going to give me a chart based off of this one. So realistically, you could have the two side by side. As I'm trying to pull them over, I have to make sure that they both fit on the same line, or I could have them separate. So now here I get my listing, but then I have my numbers over here. Once I make these changes, I hit save, and it is going to save my layout for me. Now, I'm going to take you through a couple of the other ones that I've already pre-created. So if I go to Pam's working dashboard here, it's going to give me my open limb report, my open case report, whatever information that I need to help me work on a day-to-day basis. It's going to give me this. Since my case number is here, I can double click here and it's going to take me to that specific case that I need to work on. So depending on how you work will depend on what information that you want to see. But let's just say that Dawn wants me to share this dashboard with her. I can share this dashboard with her. I can go here to my settings. Once I hit settings, it's going to give me my title. I can fix any typing mistakes. I can rename it. Here, I can share it with a specific person. So I can go in here and say, hey, share this dashboard with Dawn. And then I hit save. So what happens is Dawn's going to get notification that I shared a dashboard with her. She will be able to see the same dashboard that I'm seeing, but only I can make modifications to the actual dashboard itself. And she can go in there and, work off of it, double click on it, go to the cases and stuff like that. But she's not able to change the actual reports in the dashboard itself. Okay. I know I've been talking for 40 minutes. Have not checked in with Don or Lauren. Are there anything that I need to go back over, or is there any specific questions that you guys would like to address?
So there was one question from a user asking if you could show an insurance report.
An insurance report?
Hmm.
So if I go back here to reports and I go here to insurance, these are all the predefined ones that are pre-built in Neos. So let's go here, say insurance report by case number. I can select on this and it's going to give me a report that's going to give me my insurance information. Again, you have your filters up top. You can say, has it been resolved? So let's just say we want to see insurance report by case number for all cases that was resolved by mediation. Once I choose remediation, I can hit apply and it would give me all the cases that are in my system, whether open or closed, because, you know, I haven't chosen that. And it's going to show me that these two cases were solved by mediation. So these are like pre-built out reports that you guys can use. Again, if I go back here to my reports, these are all the standard reports that you have available to you that are pre-built out. So like this one right here, it says insurance limits with total met. Let's try that one. So if I select here, again, it's going to show me all my information. You have these columns. Remember, you can always go over here to the column chooser and choose what columns you're going to see. And then you can filter this out. So let's just say this is a report that you really like, but you want to be able to add more columns. So this is where you could take this report similar and create an advanced search report that's going to give you the additional information that you may want to see. Now, Dawn, did they specifically say a specific insurance report they were looking for, or just a report in general?
They did not give a specific report. They just said insurance report.
Yeah, so here it's pre-built out. We have looks like about 25, 30 pre-built insurance reports. But just remember, you can always build your own through advanced search if you're looking for something specific. And if we were going to do that through advanced search, I'm going to go back up here, choose my advanced search. The search for, if I hit the drop down, I can scroll or I can type in insurance. And then this is where you would build your criteria out of information you're looking for. So if you're specifically looking for an insurance company, you could filter it out for, the type of insurance. So here, let's just say we want to see all cases with, workers' comp insurance. So you could go here and choose the type of insurance. So insurance type, select the insurance type, equal, and let's just say you just want to see workers' comp. You choose workers' comp, you hit run search, and it's going to show you all of your cases wherein somebody may have workers' comp as an insurance type. Again, you hit save new and fill in the information. You can do it a share report or report only that you get to see. And just remember again that you can hit the drop down and you can group columns by the different case names or types of insurance, the insurance company. You have variation of options of how you can group these columns. All right. Anything else, Don or Lauren?
So it looks like that particular user is looking for carrier claims and clients from the insurance report. I
What do
don't
you
know
mean?
that there's one that's pre-built in there that you can sort by carrier claims and the client.
Yeah, so I mean, based off of what I was just showing you, from the advanced search. So if I go back here to the advanced search, choose insurance again. if you're looking for a specific carrier, this is where you could go and choose who the insurance carrier is. So here where it says insure, you could select insure and you could say equal, and then let's say, I'm just going to choose State Farm. Depending on how many you have in your system, I'm just going to choose this first one. Here it would show you all cases where State Farm is the insurance company, and then it would give you, the case names and stuff like that. So and then it would give you your limits, resolve, claim number, and stuff like that. So depending on what you're wanting would depend on, how you would filter this out. All right. If anybody needs assistance on advanced search reports and stuff like that, we do have stuff in our learning hub, which Miss Lauren will go over in just a few minutes, but you can also schedule time with a trainer to get full training on advanced search and how to build your own reports. All right, well, if we don't have anything else, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Lauren to give her time to go through the support portal. And Miss Lauren.
Well, thank you very much, Pam. All right, great. I am going to share my screen. And here we go. Okay, awesome. So we looked at a lot of really wonderful features in Neos today, and my portion of it is to show you that there are multiple avenues that you can use to get the help that you're looking for. So as an example, we were just looking at advanced search. If you click this question mark icon in the top right corner of Neos, you will notice that we have a pop-out showing some relevant KB articles regarding this current tab that I'm on. And we also have a video tutorial as well. So as a reminder, you can click one of these articles. It will open up a new tab in your browser. And if this one is not the one, because you're already here in advanced search, maybe you want, how do I actually build the criteria? If you go to click another one, it will open up in the same tab that it just opened, so it won't clutter up your browser. We also took a look at reports as well. So if I click over here to the question mark, I now have different articles and videos associated with this view. So this is just another way to access more information. Taking a look at different reports. These are popular reports that our users are using. So settlement memo, value tab reports. And if you just want like an overview of reports, we have a tutorial on that as well. And we also took a look at some permissions. Pam went through to show you the permissions that you would need to access reports, access advanced search. And again, if I click that question mark icon, I have some articles related to this view as well. So directory, special permissions, that's a big one as well. And just, of course, we have that tutorial just walking you through that whole area on permissions. So these are ways that you can access information right from your current view that will take you right to that article. And let's go ahead and click Support Portal. As you saw, in all those views that I just showed, we always have that Support Portal button listed here. So let's go ahead and click that. And I'm going to take you through a quick walkthrough of the support portal, and also stay tuned near the end. I'm going to show another refresher of ways you can have access to that information through all the avenues that I mentioned and a few more. So let's take a look. So when you come into the support portal, there we go. We have this What's New tab over here. And now if you haven't been to the support portal in a bit of time and information has been added, you'll see a blue circle on the top left of this tab, and it will automatically fly out as soon as you enter here. So as a reminder, the What's New tab is chock full of important information. So release information, maintenance release, our change log that we know and love, and also our upcoming academies. So this is the one we're in right now. And so when we have the next one, it will be also listed here for you to easily register right from here. So let's go ahead and close that. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Before we get over to the knowledge base, I'm going to bring you over to the NEOS University. Just as a reminder, this NEOS University is chock full of all of the information you need to be a pro user of NEOS. So we have 4 courses here. And also, if you were in our last NEOS Academy, we announced our NEOS AI certification contest. So there is still time to participate in this contest. So make sure you stay tuned at the very end because we will announce the last day that you can participate in that. So you still have some time, but we just want to make sure that if you do want to participate and be entered to win some great prizes, that you have the opportunity to do so. Let's go back into the portal. The Learning Hub. So I already have this page open here. Nope, that's not the one. We're going to close that. There we go. Here it is. So the Learning Hub, you'll notice that I've already done a search for this, but the Learning Hub in general will give you tutorial videos about all areas across NEOS. And I particularly searched for advanced search already because I want to show you just how simple it is to find the videos. So for example, I searched for advanced search. You're going to see all the videos related to advanced search. And even though we didn't spend too much time on advanced analytics today, we do also have this capability, which is part of like the dashboard. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how to increase your firm's ability to like review data in your NEOS environment, this advanced analytics video is either of these are a great watch. So definitely take a look there. These are all included in your ability to use NEOS. So these are free for you. And then if I just go ahead and clear that search and I'll just click again, we'll go back to the home and you'll see that we do have topics here you can browse. And again, we also have all of our previous NEOS Academies here and any on-demand webinars that we have recorded as well. So take a look when you have a chance and learn a little bit more on something new. All right, let's take a look back into the portal. And as Pam mentioned, we do have training available. So if you're interested in booking some private training on a particular topic like advanced search, you can click here where you can see the schedule of what's available and also some pricing details. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the knowledge base because as Pam mentioned, all of the areas that were reviewed all have knowledge base articles related to them. So I'm going to drill down. You'll see that NEOS is collapsed at the moment. I'm going to drill down this caret and all of the categories in which you would find articles would be located within here. So let's just jump ahead to what we covered today. So we looked at advanced search and there are 11, but if I drill down this caret again, I'll see that I can locate articles by the area. So let's say I just want to focus on how to build that criteria. Well, here it is right here for you to review. We also took a look at my dashboards. And when I click this top level dashboards, there are 16. If I drill down, I can see that I have everything related to my dashboards and accessing. But as I did mention just a minute ago about advanced analytics, we do have some more information if you're interested in learning more about advanced analytics here as well. And then we also took a look at permission groups where you have to make sure that you have the right permissions for accessing advanced search, accessing reports, etc. And then we took a look at reporting as well. And Pam also mentioned we have the custom report writing service. So this article right here, this custom report writing service, if you click this link, you'll be directed over to enter in your company, your firm information where you can choose, and I'll just show you really quickly. Let's just close that. And where you can choose what kind of report request you're looking for. Is it a new custom report or advanced search report? Maybe you need some changes to something that we helped you with originally. If you're looking for a settlement memo, or if you'd also like us to help you code some documents. So that resource is available to you as well. All right, let's go back over to here. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm going to close this out and take you over to where we have Get Support. So there are a lot of resources available for you to access more information. But if you're thinking that you just might need to reach out to us for some communication to help solve your issue, we have our Get Support here, and we can also access it from right up here. All right, so this was the last tidbit of the how to access information in multiple ways. So as a reminder, after you fill in all of your information for your firm to submit a ticket, when you're typing in the subject, let's say you're searching for a report, you'll see some suggested articles here. And okay, this kind of gives us what I'm looking for, but let's say I want to start writing some additional phrases or additional words. You can see that now I have the create and modify report subscription, and this might have been what I'm looking for. And so it'll customize it based on what you've entered in. And as a reminder, subject should be a general sort of phrasing about what your issue is, and then you'll use your description for more details. So another example could be, let's say if you're looking for advanced, okay, and now you have some top 5 articles related to advanced. Okay, but I want to see a little bit more. I know Lauren mentioned something about advanced analytics, so I can just start typing, and now I'll have these articles related to advanced analytics that I can just read through. Maybe I'll get my answer there before I submit that ticket. And that will definitely save you time. So, Pam, I'm going to stop my share now. Is there anything else that we have on the back side that we want to cover before we close out?
So I don't know if we have time to go over this completely, but we had a question. Can you go over a checklist report showing pre-lit deadlines?
Okay, so let me share my screen real quick. I'm not gonna be able to do the full thing, but we'll get you there halfway. Okay, so if you go to advanced search again, and then because you're pulling the checklist, so you're going to choose your checklist. And then depending on what codes you are using for your litigation deadlines, you would go hit add criteria. And then you're going to go to this checklist directory and then select the code. So depending on what codes you guys are using, here you can say contains, and then you can type in, if it's, starts with, equals, depending on what you're seeing or what your checklist codes called for, you can add those codes here and then run your search. So every firm does it a little bit different. So if there's specific, codes that you're using, your checklist codes that you're using for your litigation deadlines, that's where you would put that information here, just like I did earlier with the limb, and it shows everything for the limb date. So you would follow essentially the same process that I did with the limb dates. And then to add your date ranges, you would add your criteria, and you could do it by due date. And then you could put greater than and equal to, and do a due date a second time. Less than or equal to, and then you would put your date ranges here. So your due dates is going to dictate what information you're going to see, and just say it's the end of the month, and then it's going to give you all the checklist items within that date range. That's a short and sweet, but just remember, you guys, can reach out to support, or, when it comes to building these reports, definitely suggest that you guys contact one of the trainers and do a session with them, and they'll be able to assist you guys. All right. Well,
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm going to share my screen really quickly to Perfect. Okay, so that closes us out for our April NEOS Academy on reporting in NEOS. This was the thing that I mentioned to stay tuned to the end. our NEOS AI certification contest ends on April 18th. So if you have not taken the NEOS AI certification, click this link to go ahead and do that. And then after you do, post about it on your social media, and then you'll be entered automatically into the contest. So the last day to post on social media will be April 18th. And then as well, we have our upcoming NEOS Academy sessions and also our custom report requests if you're looking to get a custom report created by us. Well, thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it.
Have a great week.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.